Red button means we're live. A casual take with your boy Stephen Pepper here to give a take off my chest. So I can't go on Twitter without seeing Josh Allen fans and Lamar Jackson fans bickering back and forth on whether their quarterback should win MVP. Like I've seen every different stat, graphic, and I'm tired of it. So I want to come on here and give a different perspective on the whole MVP debate. If the Bengals make the playoffs, and I know they got a slim chance, they need a couple teams to lose, but let's say for sake of argument, they do get in. Hand the MVP to Joe Burrow. You just got to. I mean, I don't know how you walked away from Saturday's game and thought that someone else is playing better in the sport. Because let me tell you, there isn't. I mean, to go 39 of 49, 437 total yards, 4 total touchdowns, and to pull out a win against one of the best defenses in the sport while they sack you 7 times, it's truly one of the best performances of the entire season. Oh, and he also became the first quarterback to ever record 250 plus yards, 3 total touchdowns in 8 consecutive games. And no other quarterback in history has done 7. Not Marino, not Brady, not Manning, not Breeze. Just Joe Burrow standing alone. Now, listen, I understand the whole record thing. The MVP usually goes to one of the top seeds. And if the Bengals do get in, their record isn't going to come close to the Ravens or the Bills. But it's called the Most Valuable Player of the Year award. Emphasis on valuable. And if Burrow somehow wills this joke of an organization to the playoffs, despite the defense and special teams literally refusing at any point of the season to show up, it would be one of the all-time greatest carry jobs in the history of the NFL. I mean, like what? Did he lead 3 different game-winning drives on Saturday? But his defense blew one in regulation, and his kicker blew one in the beginning of overtime. But that's been the story for Joe Burrow. I mean, he had to do a little Thanos. Fine, I'll do it myself. And hit T. Higgins to win the game. But that's been the story for Joe Burrow. I mean, how many games did he throw against a good team? 3 to 4 touchdowns, but his defense gave up 5 to 6. I mean, how many games did they lose by third? I mean, they put up 30 on offense and still lose. Never seen that before. I think it was the history of the league record or something like that. Or they trot out Evan McPherson, and then he'll just miss the game-winning field goal. Like, Burrow's had no breaks this season, especially against the really good teams. Like, no wonder their record against the best teams in the league isn't that good because he's getting sold by his teammates. I mean, this guy's literally had to play almost perfect to even get to this point on the outside looking in the playoffs. All while guys like Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen could lay some eggs and their teams could clinch the playoffs before Christmas. I mean, just look at his stats on the season. If you were to remove the name, remove the record, just look at it blind, you would think I stole these numbers from Peyton Manning's reference page. He's leading the league right now with 4,600 passing yards. He's leading the league with passing touchdowns with 42. Just 8 interceptions, third in QBR with 76.7, and has a better completion percentage than Allen and Jackson. But I've seen people in my lifetime win MVPs with these numbers. But don't take my word for it. Take his coach and Zach Taylor's, who said about Burrow's MVP case, quote, "I don't know that anyone can stand on the field and watch Joe Burrow and not say that he's the best player in the world." I mean, I don't know how you could watch that Saturday game and think there's someone in the sport playing at the level of Joe Burrow, because there isn't one. Now, again, the Bengals have to make the playoffs for him to be my MVP, because you can't give the MVP to someone who missed the playoffs. It will totally devalue the award. And when you look at their path, they need 2 teams to lose next week while the Bengals beat the Steelers. So you need the Jets to beat the Dolphins and the Chiefs to beat the Broncos. Jets, Dolphins going to be tricky because we just saw the Jets get blown out by the Bills. But you say, oh, Chiefs versus Broncos. Chiefs are going to destroy the Broncos. But then you realize that the Chiefs are probably going to rest all their starters. So it's going to be tough. I think the Bengals have a 40% chance statistically, but it doesn't look like they're automatically going to get in. But even if they don't make the playoffs, I need to see Burrow on ballots. If I had a vote, I'd give him 3rd or 4th place, even if they don't make the playoffs, because this is truly a truly special season. And I'm trying to do my hardest to make sure this season gets recognized. Because I hope down the line, like 5 to 10 plus years, we just forget this season ever happened. With Jamar Chase too, but particularly for Burrow. Because again, take the name out of it. Take the record out of it. If I were to show you these stats and I'd say, hey, guess quarterback, you'd probably say, is this a Breeze, Rodgers, Manning, Marino, Brady season? I'm like, no. It's actually Joe Burrow. And you'd be like, oh, wow, he probably won MVP. Nah, his teammates suck, and his defense can't stop you and me, and his kicker somehow doesn't know how to kick. And that's where they're at. But if the Bengals do make the playoffs, Joe Burrow, Allen and Lamar, Allen's my MVP right now, and I love Lamar. He's having a great season. but it's Burrow's MVP award if they make the playoffs, because if he gets them in, beating the Broncos, beating the Steelers, running the table late on a 6-game win streak, when you're going consecutive games of 250 yards and multiple touchdowns, it's truly one of the greatest carry jobs in the history of the sport, and I think we have to reward it. But I appreciate everyone for tuning into this episode of A Casual Take. Follow my social media to stay updated on all things related to the show. Till next time, see ya.